success is working hard. For our country we must have regard. Forget all your differences, let we start to build. And onward to progress we surely will. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say,
yes, indeed. Now is the time for us to pull together, unite, to build this beautiful country of ours, to develop Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. This is our piece of rock, and we must work very hard and smart to make it a better place. I want to share some positives with you this morning, at least two pieces. So let me again play for you what the visible transformation looks like.
So we have the visible transformation project. At first, that project was dealing with the lagoon, and then we really expanded that project into including Wall Street. And then we expanded it again to include the derelict vehicles and the boats and so on. And we also thought that we cannot, when we said to ourselves, we cannot speak transformation and not involve the youths. So we visited the TAMCC, and the plan was to get the students involved, and we did get the students involved. We asked ministers and caretakers to identify green spaces within their constituency, and they did. And what we did was to meet with the college students and give them the chance for them to design those green spaces. Why? Because we think once we get them involved at this level, then when we leave, they will be the one to take up the mantle. And also, they can feel a sense of pride that they contributed to the development of Grenada and to the beautification of Grenada also. And in a week or two, we expect to get back the designs. And I am excited because the students were also excited. And I can tell that, it's something that the country will be very proud of. But this is where we have to go, and we want to continue in that realm. And to keep on engaging and having the young people there to have a say in the development of the country. So the Visible Transformation Project is a project under MIT, and thus far we have seen it propelling in directions that we never thought it could have. Fort George is part of a tourism project that was funded by the World Bank. As a matter of fact, since 2017, and that project was on the book and was not implemented. And the Prime Minister gave MIT the project to implement. We want to turn Fort George, or to transform Fort George into a tourism site instead of a police headquarters. And people from the last administration told us, MIT, that project would have been impossible. But once we are involved, once MIT is involved, we turn the impossible into possible. And we started that project in January of 2023, and it's going according to plan. But the plan is not to end at Fort George. The plan is to revitalize, for example, the Moy Bishop residence, to revitalize Fort Matthew, to revitalize Onkuma Falls. When a tourist comes to Grenada, we should be adding tourism sites to the package so that they can always have a new experience, and that their experience can be different all the time. And that is the idea. We want to look at our history, our historical sites, and restore them so that we can add to the value of the country and show the beauty of Grenada and show the history of Grenada, and to show that Grenada is much more than just the Granatang and the Anadeo. So at MIT, we pride ourselves as a ministry to get things done. Not just to get things done, but to get things done efficiently, cost effectively. And not just getting things done, but getting the right things done. And we pride ourselves as a ministry that has the energy, the ministry that will be there to ensure that projects are implemented, the ministry that is there to ensure that transformation is taking place, the ministry that is there for the people. And this is what we pride ourselves on. And we have our staff is very up to the task. And I can tell going forward, MIT, not no disrespect to other ministries, but MIT will be the ministry that will lead Grenada to experience the change that it needs by working together with all other ministries.
Right, so that was the Honorable Andy Williams. And boy, oh boy, he's working extremely hard with the staff of MIT, the Ministry of Mobilization, Implementation, and Transformation. And what is very obvious, this administration is getting the job done. This administration is implementing the projects. The NNP, they left it there. They were not implementing the projects. They could care less. But now this administration is actually implementing the projects, seeing it to completion. And I want to commend them for that. At this point, I want to again share with you another positive, because that never happened in the past, where principals, where senior managers are engaged in such a way to roll out this new system, a management system to assess, to appraise principals, senior teachers, and so on. That was in the on the shelf since 2018. 2018, it took the NDC to come back into power and to roll that out, and that is very, very important that we understand the NDC. They're doers, they're implementers. They're going to get the job done. They're going to fix it. But the NNP, they're very good at talking. So let me play for you that piece.
For 2 days, principals and senior teachers from the nation's primary and secondary schools gathered at the Grenada National Stadium to participate in an interactive workshop on performance management aimed at shaping the performance appraisal used for principals.
The workshop, it was a huge eye-opener. I mean, as a young teacher and an aspiring leader, it opened my eyes as to the amount of work that principals put in on a yearly basis to ensure the efficiency and the effective running of a school. Here the dialogue was quite open. I was quite pleased to see how receptive the Ministry of Education was in receiving feedback from the principals, and how open the principals were in expressing their feedback, but obviously in a respectful manner. I also I was privy to the performance appraisal that is used to help principals improve. And as we said, it's not a punitive measure, but something just to help facilitate growth as principals and senior teachers.
So I felt that we were listened to in the consultation, but what I find most of all is that the entire workshop, the entire session brought us together, Ministry of Education and educators. I felt like there was bridging the gap because we participated in fun activities together with the Deputy CEO and the education district education officers. So we created that bond. So bond together as principals and the education officials.
I think it's a good way for self-evaluation and introspection as a leader and a leader of school. So it's a good way of keeping me as an individual and principals intact and on track and seeing how best, making the principal the best person that he or she can be in the school system.
Deputy Chief Education Officer for School Administration, Kathy James, who was the main facilitator at the workshop, said the new performance appraisal will be more objective than the previous measurement used.
New in the sense that the one that we used previously, there was no rubric as the one that we are proposing to use now. All right, so there were statements and persons were graded based on the statement, but this one, it takes away what you would call the subjectivity and makes it more objective. All right, so principals are assessed based on standards, based on things that are expected. So the highest you can get on one indicator is 4, but you would see that when you look at it, there are ways for you to improve as you go. So it specifically identify areas for you to work on.
James explained that the innovative approach is not punitive, but focuses on growth and lifelong learning. She further stated that the new appraisal was introduced to member states of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States some 5 years ago.
Because we were looking at the leadership standard across the OECS, this was developed to address some of the issues. So that's why it was something that was initiated since in 2018, 2019, as part of the leadership of school leaders throughout the OECS. So it is something that was given for us to adapt, all right, making it culturally relevant for our context so that we are better able to improve on the standards of leadership within our schools and education system.
The close to 80 participants created a song to sum up the workshop.
Yes, so again, that's a good move, engaging the principals, engaging the area education officer or the district education officer, and creating that bond and rolling out that new system to assess, to appraise the performance of principals and senior teachers. That's a good thing. And we would love to see more of that, more engagement at that level. We saw it with senior management officials of ministries. Don't forget, the government had a toll, taking them out of their comfort zone and saying, let us, go out there and engage. Let's go out there and engage those who are actually doing the work, who's on the ground, right? Those PSAs and senior management officials. They were actually out in the field only recently. So the government is at it. They really want to see transformation happen, and they're going at all lengths, and which is really, really good. Many times we only hear the negative stories, right? The government is really working hard to get the public service, teachers, police. You saw our prime minister meeting with the traffic wardens. You saw engagement at all different levels, training opportunities, just name it, because the government is serious about about the transformation agenda, right? The transformative agenda. That is what we want to see. the development of our country. And they're really trying. And that is what is important. The NDC administration is trying. So they're engaging all the stakeholders. They're different. We didn't used to see the NNP ministers of government engaging staff like this, or engaging teachers and principals, or engaging senior uh, officials of the ministry, bringing them out in the field to see what is happening with different projects and so on, and all these different consultations, and the prime minister meeting with so many different groups within society, the busmen, the bus association, and just name it. It's just different. The type of governance is different. The structure, the way they're doing things, and we must notice it and we must talk about it. We have to do that. All right. I want to move on to say to you, the worst thing we can do is to cry wolf when it comes to crime or criminal activities. It seems that the NNP is crying wolf, right? They want the situation to get bad. That is what it seems. It's not bad enough. That kind of feeling you get when they call talk show programs, and lament. They give people the impression that they want the thing to get worse, because they're doing nothing really to help except talk. The NNP is doing nothing to help in curbing the criminal activities in this country. Nothing except to talk and talk and talk. That's what they're doing, to make mischief and confusion. They're good at that because they want power, and they don't care if Grenada sinks. They just want power. They're thirsty for power. They're drakey for power. And they would say anything and do anything to get it. But it comes across when they speak as though they want it to be worse. But God is in charge of this country. And we know that it will get better and not worse. And Grenada, when compared to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad, St. Lucia, and we can go on, the neighboring islands, Grenada is way better than the others in terms of crime and criminal activity and so on. So try not to talk your country down or speak bad about Grenada. That is why I spoke yesterday at length and last night at length about this individual from Hollywood who believes that he knows Grenada more than all of us, and not understanding the crime solving rate of the police, our police force. They have been able to solve a lot of crimes, murders, just name it. I mean, sometimes it went cold, 5 years, 6 years, and they still were able to solve it. So do not try to force the hands of the police to prematurely come out and say certain things. I mean, yes, they knew the police had scheduled a press conference for today. So they come out with this thing yesterday as though, well, I am saying while the individual is putting, the two individuals, while they're putting some $100,000 on who and who to find who and who, well, while you're at it, spend some money on our hospital system. Donate some money there. Spend some money on our education system. Spend some money on our agriculture system. Spend some money on law enforcement. Inject some money there so it can be, there's more manpower and more resources can be, at their disposal. You see, some of these people believe they can fool people in this country. So they outside and they post all kinds of stuff, giving the impression that they really genuinely care about Grenada. They don't. They care about their special interests, their agenda, right? That is what they care about, not Grenada. They don't care about me and you, whether you survive or whether you die. They don't. But once a person is a part of the group, right, then they would push a lot in that direction. That is exactly what it is. Why you're not hearing them speak about the other things that happened in the past? The police is not investigating one matter. They're investigating a lot of matters. And they have a very good record of solving crimes. 80-something percent, almost 90%. They normally get the perpetrators. It will take some time, but they do their job thoroughly, like any civil country, any law-abiding country. You cannot just go and just arrest people, pick up people. No, let the police do their job. It is just ridiculous what some people who preach that they love Grenada, and there's a particular one with a podcast, right? Yes, who out there pushing and peddling mischief against our country, against that individual's country. I don't know his or her sex. I don't know whether the person is male or female. I don't know. But I'm simply saying that individual is out there peddling a lot of mischief against Grenada. I don't know what the individual is obsessed about. Maybe he's angry that our beloved Prime Minister, this young, intelligent individual, is Prime Minister of Grenada. The individual never expected that our most honorable Deacon Mitchell will one day become Prime Minister. It comes across that way. He's obsessed. The individual is obsessed. He or she, I don't know the individual's sex, right? Because these days, they're not putting any sex on birth certificate outside there. I don't know what is the sex of the individual. But it's clear. The individual is bitter, right? Let Grenada be. Allow the country to grow, develop, and prosper. What you want to paint Grenada with a big brush, right? For this one particular incident, and the police is investigating it. So even before the investigation is concluded, you want them to come out and say, this is that, and what is this? What is this? What do you think that is? Huh? What do you think that is? But some of these people, they have an agenda, and they pushing that agenda in every area. The school system, the workplace, the community, the church, everywhere. They're pushing that agenda, and they're going at it hard, right? And there are a lot of people who are supporting that kind of agenda. But Grenadians are tolerant. We're respectful. We're a very tolerant society. I'm telling you, we're warm. We're friendly. Why paint us in this light? Because you don't live here? You want to damage this country's image outside there? And then you go on your podcast making people believe that you're patriotic, making people believe that you're genuine about this country, and you're that particular individual, and I don't know the individual sex, whether they're male or female, I don't know, is the one behind all of these things. Because this Hollywood individual don't know much about Grenada. Then the other one who says she's a publicist or whatever, she don't know much about Grenada. I'm telling you. But that's how they operate. That's how they function. That's exactly how they function. The individual is peddling all lies and mischief out there. But Grenadians will pull together to defend this piece of rock we call home. Folks, I want to say to you that there is Old Mass, I think, in St. Mark. My good friend, Francis Purcell, I know you and the team, you're all working very hard with, traditional Mass. The traditional Mass Festival, Hero Square St. Mark, Victoria St. Mark, 3 p.m. on this Saturday. Saturday, the 29th of July. The Spice Mass Corporation, they're having that up there. I know they're working extremely hard to make sure that, it comes off really, the way they want it to, right? Successful. So again, it's on Saturday, 29th of July. Don't forget, it starts at 3 p.m. Hero Square, Victoria St. Mark. All right, this Saturday. So don't forget that. I know Frances Purcell, she's a member of the board. She loves that. And she's working extremely hard to make sure that it's successful. Also out there in New York, join us. The pleasure of variety on your plate. Emancipation celebration, fish fry, Friday the 28th. Sorry, that's tomorrow. Friday the 28th at 6 p.m. Oil Down. Saturday. So fish fry is Friday, July 28th at 6 p.m. Oil Down, Saturday, July 29th at 1 p.m. all day fete, Sunday, July the 30th, 1 p.m. Nutmeg House, 1215 Flatbush Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11226. For more information, call 1646 886 1092, right? Or let me get the other number. 718-600-6230. So join them and be a part of that emancipation celebration. So on Friday, they have fish fry. That's Friday tomorrow. Then Saturday, as the day after, oil down. And then Sunday, all day fete. That's Emancipation Weekend. And it's at Nutmeg House, 1215 Flatbush Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11226. All right? That's important. Then in Carriacou, the NDC Carriacou branch presents breakfast brunch, $20 a breakfast, right? Or per plate. That's Saturday coming, coming Saturday 29th. All right? And the menu, right? Let me tell you, right? Location in front of the administrative building, Carriacou. That's the location. That's where they're having it. In front of the administrative building in Carriacou. And the menu, fried and roast bake, saltfish sauce, cornfish, saltfish fritters, smoked herring, boiled eggs, fried chicken, sausages, fried plantain, green banana, green salad, local drinks, ice cold bar awaits you. So, hot tea also. So plenty things are up for on that day. Please support them. Don't forget my event. But let me first play that ad for Junior George, my good partner, Junior George. Let me just play that for him.
Hello, this is Ramjit, wandering the streets of St. George's, Grenada, looking for party.
Psst, hey, you.
Huh? Who, me?
Yeah, you. Come here.
What?
You want a party?
Yeah.
All right, then. Shut up and listen to this guy.
Anyone love me a look for you?
Grenada, get ready for the International Celebrity Cruise Grenada Carnival Edition. Sold out in New York and around the world. And it's back in Grenada. And this year it's so large, so grand, so magnificent. Get ready for the International Celebrity Day Cruise featuring Brother B.
But wait. That's not all. There's more. Also featuring and performing live, Dave.
Get ready for the International Celebrity Day Cruise and featuring direct from Trinidad,
Iowa, George.
Time to celebrate.
Plus many more surprises and international guests to be announced.
the largest celebrity cruise ever.
It's the Riders Promotion and Amazing Colors Celebrity Cruise, the sexy edition. Sunday, August 13th, boarding time 10 a.m. sharp aboard the Embassy.
It's the Celebrity Cruise Grenada Carnival Edition.
Now remember, that's Sunday, August 13th, boarding at 10 a.m. sharp. Tickets available right now at the Amazing Colors Mass Camp or call 473-415-6174. or at celebritycruise.eventbrite.com. Get your tickets now. This one comes to your compliments, Ride Along Live and Clark's Court Run.
The Celebrity Cruise, the ultimate out-of-body experience.
Right, so the mass camp is on the Carenage. It's on the Carenage, close to the Osprey office. You have Hotspot, right around there. Hotspot, Osprey office there. Then you have this paint shop. It's or photo copiers or whatever on that same area. They're close to the bus stop, right around there. That's where the mass camp is. So you can pick up your tickets there. All right. So don't forget my activity. In fact, we're almost out of time. It's on Thursday, August the 3rd. That's next week, Thursday. That's Thursday next week, starting at 4 p.m. until 10. Live band music by Solid the Band, DJ Selector Beast, local foods, drinks. It's all inclusive. All inclusive, so you have to buy a ticket. I have tickets in my possession. You can call me to get a ticket. It's at Wildwoods Park, close to Fantasia Beach. So, Ricky's Bar in St. George's. You can get tickets there too. So, folks, have a wonderful day. Take good care and support sponsor if you can. Any little aspect of the event, holler at me and let's take it from there. All right. I'll be back with you tonight in the hub. Remember, Speak Out Unfiltered is coming up after me, so don't go anywhere. I think it's at 10, and they go for a couple of hours. So please stay tuned for that. Speak Out Unfiltered.